sometimes we fail to realize that you might get on this ninja net and start just saying things and not realize that maybe these people are going to watch what you say. Go ahead and check this next clip out, and we'll be right back.
I'm going to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on, particularly with James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett. And I have to be honest with you guys. You know, I'm being called a leftist coon. You know, you don't go along with the center of the Democratic Party, and you get called all kinds of names, and you get disinvited to all kinds of functions. I am going to say, don't like it.
I don't know why people are calling you a coon.
No. It's just like, you know, there's only one person that was like, Van is with white leftists now.
I guess my question to...
Now, I don't know if that was about me, but it sounded like something AT2 would say. We're going to go ahead and talk about this clip, as well as we're going to watch them talk about the James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett debacle. We're going to talk about it all. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell and press all, you guys. Here we go. What's up, everybody? So let's go ahead and address the coon comment that he made, right? Again, I don't know if it was me, but it does sound like something I said in a previous video, because I do feel that he does give cover to white leftists or white progressives, or whatever you want to call them, the white people, right? And this was based off of the things that he has said on his show. Remember when the whole Keith Edwards situation went down, and we'll talk about that too. The whole Keith Edwards situation went down when Keith had shared his video, and Rachel was trying to let him know, like, well, you're kind of taking that out of context and using that as a way to say, oh, the black man agrees with my criticism of Jasmine Crockett, you know, the way that he was using it. And then Van said, oh, well, no, he was right about the context. It was right. And it was kind of like, wait, no. We're saying that he's basically using you as an example. Oh, the black man agrees with me. And then he was like, no. Yeah. He had the right context. And it was like, okay, maybe you're not getting or understanding what we're saying. And then that interview with him, I felt like it was a total fail, because Keith Edwards is still on this ninja net terrorizing everybody. Like, he has made his brand attacking black people. That's his brand now. So he didn't learn anything from you guys. But let's go ahead and get into this conversation where they talk about the James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett race. Here we go, you guys.
You think Talarico's a racist?
No, we've had this conversation before. I think that it makes your argument ineffective when you're quick to throw those things out, or you lead with that first. So for those who haven't maybe been following along, and correct me where I get this wrong, because we're just doing this off the top of our head.
See, and this is why I don't like Rachel either, because with them minimizing the conversation, oh, you guys are just saying that this person is a racist. Just saying, oh, somebody's a racist just because. Now, have there been people probably who use that, or use the which I hate this terminology, the race card? Yes, there are people who will just randomly use it. But in this particular situation, they are not just using the race card just because. Don't forget, it's the James Talarico supporters that were the one that interjected themselves into the conversation when it came to race because of the coded language. Oh, well, you know, you need someone who's moderate, or some of them just flat out say it, somebody who's white and male and Christian to get Republican voters or get MAGA on their side. I mean, the language has been coded or either overt. So at the same time, they introduced the topic of race into the conversation. And especially just by Jasmine Crockett announcing, saying, how dare she announce that she's running, and how dare she jump in this race? This was James Talarico. It's a primary. Anybody can jump into it. So let's not forget that, Rachel. Here we go.
But James Talarico apparently had a conversation with a content creator. It was a Black woman. And I don't know if he said off the record or not, whatever, but he allegedly said that he thought he was going to be running against a Black mediocre man instead of a formidable, intelligent
mediocre Black
woman.
Man. Yeah.
Black woman. So the mediocre Black man he was referring to was Colin Allred, who we know dropped out of the race and made room for Jasmine Crockett to run. And so he made this comment. This content creator doesn't have it on tape or video, but she comes on, she says it, and then her account, that video is taken down like pretty quickly after. And so the speculation is that somebody from Talarico's team had it taken down because he was the subject of that video, and quickly thereafter it was removed. This went viral. Yeah. I saw on Threads. I'm not sure if it went everywhere, but it went viral where a lot of Black content creators, Black, political analysts had a lot to say about the fact that, this is showing James Talarico's true colors. This is what he says behind closed doors. At first, he didn't put out a statement, kind of like lived on social media for a few days. Then he put out a statement where he didn't deny making it. He just said he thought he was making a comment. He thought he was complimenting, I guess, Jasmine Crockett. And so this is what he said. He said, "This is a mischaracterization of a private conversation. In my praise of Congresswoman Crockett, I described Congressman Allred's method of campaigning as mediocre, but his life and service are not. I would never attack him on the basis of race. I understand how my critique of the congressman's campaign could be interpreted given this country's painful legacy of racism, and I care deeply about the impact my words have on others." So he's basically saying he said it, but I guess there was a different intent behind it. But no matter the intention, it came across a certain way about Colin Allred.
I want to add more context. And I realize that with Rachel and Van, this is not their lives just to be online all day, right? With me being a content creator, I can kind of look and scope at things. More than likely, what they do is just be like, all right, we're going to talk about this. Their producer gives them the topic. They give them talking points, and then they just go out there and do this podcast, right? But with Morgan, the Black woman who was harassed, when she came out with that information and said Talarico said the whole mediocre Black man thing, right? Those Talarico supporters were saying that this one was lying. Oh, how can you believe her? Where's the proof? Show your proof. She was bullied, harassed, death threats sent to her. Like, let's put a little bit more context into that. Then when Talarico basically confirmed, like, yeah, I did say it, but it was a mischaracterization. Bullshit. But when he said that, let's not forget that they had been saying this whole time this woman had lied and this conversation never happened. Well, when Talarico made a statement, all of a sudden they came back and was like, well, Colin Allred is mediocre. What's wrong with that? He is mediocre. He is mediocre. What's wrong with saying he's mediocre? Oh, so at first, this conversation never happened. This Black woman was just making it up, and you guys have been threatening her. Now, all of a sudden, oh, well, he is mediocre. So they'll just move the goalposts wherever it fits them, basically. This is the issue. So I just wanted to add that context to it.
People still aren't accepting this. And Colin Allred came out and said, don't come for me unless I send for you. He was kind of staying neutral, but he's fully put his support now behind Jasmine Crockett. You asked me what I think about this. I think that I can understand the side of people who are like, listen, he should have never said this. Like, a white man should not be speaking about a Black man like this. I'll agree. Right? Like, I don't, it's kind of like, we can say that maybe, but you can't say that. Like, why are you calling him a mediocre? It just comes across wrong. What do you mean mediocre? Why are you saying this about him? Like, we make jokes about, maybe him being married to a white woman or whatever like that. But like, it's like,
I didn't make jokes. They made them jokes in Houston.
Hearing James Talarico call him mediocre, he should not have said that. I believe personally that was wrong. Now, what he said about Jasmine Crockett, he was complimenting her, and I guess viewed her as more of a challenge in the race than he did. He minimized Colin Allred. But I don't take that as some people are, as, I didn't see them calling him a racist, but basically saying like, this is defining who James Talarico is. This is what he says in private. This is what he says off mic. This is the real James Talarico. And the version that you're getting of him, in front of the media, or the persona that they're trying to create around him, is not the real him.
Which I don't think necessarily James Talarico is a racist. I think we're getting a little bit confused here. His supporters, definitely racist. But do I think James Talarico is? No, not per se. But I will say, if you are catering towards an audience and your audience happens to be highly ignorant, and you're fostering this kind of environment where your people are saying these microaggressions, I don't even want to say microaggressions towards Black people, that is a problem, because why do they feel that comfortable? Why have you not said, hey, y'all need to stop attacking Black supporters? I love my Black supporters. I want them to come out and vote for the best candidate. Like, say something. You're just letting this go on. And you can't say, oh, well, he's not on the internet. He doesn't know. Trust me, he knows.
I can't say that from this one comment that I particularly subscribe to that either.
Interesting. So, number one, a couple things. For James Talarico and his team, for Graham Plattner as his team, the thing is less important to me than what happens after it. I keep trying to tell you guys this. We are living in a community made up of different people with different sensitivities, different sensibilities. There are going to be times where we run afoul of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way that it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Happened last week or earlier this week with Fat Labia.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to, I was trying to be, I Talarico'd it. I was trying to be.
Your intention was to show that women to show that women are strong as well. Right. That was your intention.
Or not even strong, but that, cojones is big cojones. I wanted to, and then look, it went wrong, right? You learn from it, but you have the conversation. Mm-hmm. You have the conversation. The thing that bothers me more than anything is the press release culture that we live in. And the culture that says that you can talk to white people about how you've run afoul of Black people. So that means that if you're Graham Plattner, you can go and do a bunch of different shows where there's no one that looks like fucking Bernard that's asking you questions about a fucking Nazi tattoo that you might have, or anti-Black things that you might said. Mm-hmm. That to me is just saying that Black people's voices in this coalition don't matter. Okay. So what I would suggest that the Talarico,
which I do agree with Van, that these people need to talk to Black people, but maybe Graham Plattner, he doesn't feel like he needs to because he's in Maine, and Maine I think they have the lowest Black population. It might be Wyoming, but I think it's Maine actually who got the lowest Black population. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, Graham Plattner is the one running for Senate, and he's the one with the Nazi tattoo that he just got covered up a few months ago. And he also said niggas don't tip. There you go.
Team do is find somebody Black.
Let me correct that. He said Black people don't tip, not. Okay, I had a little more to it, but he said Black people don't tip, not niggas don't tip. I just want to clarify. So.
To go have this conversation with, and not just a conversation about this, but a conversation about how we miss these types of things. Mm-hmm. Have it openly and honestly. If you don't do that, don't give a fuck if it's here, if it's somewhere else. We have asked James to come on. All right. If you don't do that, I'm going to be like, why you don't want to talk to us?
Yeah.
Like, why you don't want to talk to us when there's something to talk about?
Because you shouldn't be scared to have these conversations. They might be uncomfortable. I think, it's why we commend to Keith for coming in person and having the conversation. By the end of it, he literally admitted, I didn't see it that way. And I think that's exactly what happened to James Talarico. He said it. He thought he was saying something different, and he needs to sit down with Black people and understand why there are people who are feeling the way that they do. Now, it probably won't win over those people. I think a lot of people that I've seen talk about it, and even some of my friends in Texas have already made up their mind when it comes to this. And there's some other stuff that has come out about, maybe his team or whoever he's working with kind of doing a smear campaign on Jasmine Crockett that has people also thinking a certain way. There's like, well, and I actually posed the question to those friends. I said, well, what if, he hires a team to work on his behalf? He might not know necessarily what's going on. And they said, well, he should know. And so there are people that with all of this combined have made up their mind. Maybe they were before for James with everything that they're hearing coming out, they've turned a blind eye to it. I think he needs to come and understand why people are feeling that way and not ignore it and run away from it. And I think that, as we talked with Keith, that does everybody like a service to sit and come and have these conversations that may be uncomfortable.
Right.
Let me tell you, with the people who he got on his team, you see this Democratic cicada bug looking old mother right here. This is who's advising him. And I bet you said, oh, you ain't got to worry about it. Just go to a fish fry and have them hum and sway. You need somebody who can get Black people to hum and sway. This is who he's taking advice from. So just remember that, okay? Here we go. Let's continue.
If this is truly coalition building, because politics is one thing. I couldn't care less about the politics of this. I don't care. I don't care about the politics. Politics is a dirty game. It's a dirty business. Everyone gets dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way that it goes. If he's running a smear campaign against Jasmine Crockett or trying to highlight her unfavorables or trying to do all of this, that's the way that goes. Right? It would have been fantastic if this race didn't have to get like this, so that the main thing could stay the main thing, but it's politics. It's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But part of this primary and part of this process is for us to learn these things about these candidates, for us to learn as much as we can about them so we don't put on jerseys and get Fetterman, right? So I don't have a problem with none of that in terms of how brutal the campaign gets. If she's respected as a Black lady, is great. If there's no Shaniquas, no ghettos, no this, no low IQs, no none of that stuff, none of those dog whistles that dehumanize Black women and that we know are there to dehumanize Black women. If the politics stays above board in terms of, I don't care if it's aggressive, that doesn't bother me. The part of this that I'm always trying to investigate is not who I can win with, is who I can build with. Because winning elections is only one part of changing the reality for people in all of these different places. We have to crystallize and define these ideas. We have to strengthen these coalitions. There have to be serious people at the table to have serious conversations about what expectations are. And if you are not willing to talk about something when you fucked up, you're not serious about it. Now, I'll put that to the side. Nothing that was said really bothers me, if I'm being honest. Nothing. Like, he was pandering, trying to pander. He fucked up and he said some shit he shouldn't have said. By the way, I'm completely agnostic on this race. The one thing that I hope more is that we learn way more about both candidates throughout this process.
Sure.
I want to know as much as I can about Jasmine Crockett, as much as I can about James Talarico, because I think that both people have futures in the...
But here's the thing, and at least let me talk for right now during the primary. James Talarico has everything to prove. We don't know him, right? Where Jasmine Crockett, we know her. We see her going viral. We see her clips. We see her in the House committees and, questioning and fighting against MAGA. We see that. James Talarico, we really don't know. We have no clue, no idea. And let's be honest. For me, I live in California. I can't vote in the Texas Senate at all, right? But you need at least people to donate to your campaign and get people excited, and get the base to come out strong for you. Like, you need that push. You need the push from online so people can get you over that finish line, right? Because again, people like me, them, people on the internet, we have the power to control the narrative. And so with that being said, it's going to be hard for somebody like Talarico, who we don't know, and now we have this sour taste in our mouth, to actually want to get behind and, tell my family, like, oh, you need to support him. Like, I asked people that I know in Texas, like, do you know who James Talarico is? They were all like, no, I have no clue. You have no clue? What? But I asked them about Jasmine Crockett. So again, James Talarico is the one that needs to prove himself now. Now, definitely after this primary, if it's James or if it's Jasmine Crockett, they will need to let the people of Texas know what they're about, and to get them excited, bring out that base to vote for them. And let's stop with this whole, oh yeah, both sides are going to come out and vote for like a moderate candidate. You have to try to get people from the other side to, let's stop all that. The people that you want to excite and to get out to vote for you are the people who have been left behind, who feel ostracized, who feel like this system does not work for them. You want to inspire those people to come out and vote for you, because trying to get the white voter or MAGA to come over to the other side, it's not going to work. It's not. And that just translates to, they want more white people to come out and vote for them. That's what that translates to. Those are the voters that they want. They don't want to bring out the people of color, considering that it's a minority majority state. You would think they would want to push those people to come out more than trying to get people who basically made up their mind that they sticking with Trump, they're going to stick beside him, that's their man. Like, it's hard to get those people, but you'll just kick the other ones to the wayside. It's like, I don't think that's the best strategy. It has not worked this far, especially in Texas, right? Hit that notification bell and press all when you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for being here, and trust me, there's more to be said. Love y'all. We out of here. Deuce.